I always say that planning is an interesting discipline because it is the intersection of governmental action, private interest, and our presumed effort to advance the public good. And it's the intersection of those things that create the complexity for us as planners. We have institutions in our democratic society that have emboldened and often supported these inequalities and often reproduced them. And so for us as planners, we have the responsibility of understanding that where we've come from requires us to be ever vigilant about the work that we have before us.
I think it's important for community planners to think critically about social equity for a couple of reasons. As planners, we have a responsibility to understand, anticipate, and advise stakeholders about issues that otherwise could get out of control. Let's say, for the lack of a better word, we call them blind spots.
This is not simply a civil rights issue. It's not only about sort of the old notions of fair housing meaning non-discrimination. It means understanding institutional and structural racism. It means not just economic development the way we used to practice it, but understanding what kinds of development can be inclusive, can lead to better outcomes for workers and a whole range of other issues. So the structural understanding behind the planning practices is what I think the current vision of equity is all about.
As a planner, professional planner especially, the organization and the profession have already decided that these are important things. And so by coming into this field, you are effectively coming on board and agreeing to care about these things.
I think planners have a responsibility to all members of the community. It doesn't matter if they represent education or economic development or a special interest group. We have a responsibility to represent all members, and I think that we have skills that allow us to do that.
We need to be creative about how to create and recreate places in a way that focus on people who have historically been underserved.
As a planner, social equity and readiness are really important components to actually be able to do this work on the ground. And it stems from institutional support and political cover to be able to do that work, because it does require having really tough conversations out in the community.
We cannot plan from our desks. That's the message I have for emerging planners, planning students, and seasoned professionals, so they can understand what are the planning issues that need to be resolved and how can we work together to resolve it.
This is one of the most important issues facing our profession. What are the skill sets that planners need to have? How can we as APA organize them, prepare them, provide resources so that they can make a difference?
I wanted to be part of the charge which provided better tools and resources and created the expectation of our profession that this is our job, this is our central duty.
I think planners, because of the work that they do with communities and community members, and because of the work that they do in shaping communities, have a real ability to address this, and I think the time is now.